everyone, happy Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about Funko Pops that I can't believe Funko hasn't made. Now, if you've looked around, lots of fandoms are represented by Funko. You can find just about everything from Marvel to Disney to Star Wars to ad icons. You can even find Golden Girls ones. You can find just about every TV show, but I have stumbled across a few that don't exist. So I want to highlight some of the ones that I'm still pretty shocked about. While we go through this, I will be showing you a few custom pops that I have found along the way. I don't take credit for any of these, just so you know. I found most of these pictures either on Pinterest or Google or different places like that, but I don't take credit for any of these because I haven't created any of these customs and I don't own any of these pictures. So just wanted to say that before we jump in. Now, the first one that I want to talk about is actually a movie. It's called Spaceballs. Now, if you've never seen Spaceballs, it's actually a satire of Star Wars. Just like in Star Wars, you follow Lone Star instead of Han Solo and his trusty companion Barf as they try to save Princess Vespa from Dark Helmet. Now, if you think this is hilarious, I would definitely recommend watching this movie. But back to the topic at hand. This is such a funny movie and it's such a great satire of Star Wars. I can't believe there isn't Funko Pops, but here are a few that I found that could potentially be Funko Pops for Spaceballs. Again, remember, I don't own these pictures. I didn't make these. I found them on the internet. So if these are yours, leave me a comment, let me know so I can give you credit. For the next movie I can't believe doesn't have Funko Pops, we're going to take it back to a Jane Austen book that turned into a movie. Now, if you've ever watched Pride and Prejudice, you know that Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet have a beautiful love story that does come from the Jane Austen book. If you watched this in the early 2000s, you were probably obsessed with Mr. Darcy because I know that I was. I really believe that Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth deserve to be Funko Pops because they tell such a beautiful story and I was obsessed. For the next movie, we're going to go into the world of Disney. You know I had to. I'm a huge Disney fan. But we're going to talk about High School Musical. Now, if you were ever a fan of Troy Bolton and Gabriella Montez, can you imagine if we had these awesome High School Musical Funko Pops? I could totally see Ryan and Sharpay as these Funko Pops. It was such an iconic movie that went on to have 3 movies and then now a TV show on Disney+. Next, I want to talk about the game The Legends of Zelda. Now, if you grew up playing with Link and you loved those games on either a Game Boy or a Nintendo Switch or whatever type of platform you used, you know that these were some of the best storylines. Again, just my opinion, but I definitely loved playing these games. So to see them in Funko Pop form, I think would be truly amazing. Next, we've got a TV show that I'm actually really surprised isn't a Funko Pop. If you're a fan of Dexter, you're probably wondering the same thing as me. Where are the Dexter Morgan Funko Pops? This is a huge fandom in my opinion that deserves to be a Funko Pop, and I can't believe Funko has dropped the ball on this one and hasn't made them yet. Yes, the show's a little gruesome, but there's some pretty gruesome Funko Pops out there if you've already seen them. Here are some examples. So I don't see why we can't have some Dexter Funko Pops. The next show I can't believe are not Funko Pops is Pretty Little Liars. This is a show I grew up on, and I feel like it is very iconic in the time that it was being released. Even now, I have gone back to rewatch, and it's actually a really great show. And last but not least, my favorite show of all, one that I have rewatched many times, and I really wish there would be Funko Pops of this show. And that's the Vampire Diaries. Now, without giving away too much about this show, it does follow Elena Gilbert when she meets Stefan and Damon Salvatore, who just happen to be vampires. Now, there's a lot of supernatural beings in this show, so there's a big opportunity to make some really cool Funko Pops. This show went on to even have 2 spin-offs, one of them being the originals, where we got to follow along with the original vampire family of Niklaus and Elijah and their siblings and all the mischief that they get into in New Orleans. Now, I know I didn't cover every single movie, TV show, actor, fandom that isn't a Funko Pop yet, but these are the ones that really stand out in my mind. I can't believe these don't exist yet, and I really hope Funko sees this and they maybe start making some, if not all of them, at least maybe 1 or 2 from this list, because how cool would that be?